I think the girls with their nails done.
Oh my god, Bossy!
Girls with their nails done.
Debating on peeking, and Seth's gonna find the skull right away. Finds Kiku as well, and finds Lipa. Beautifully done here from Lavelle has this covered. Lavelle with a double, possibly one more. Can he find them? He's gonna find the triple.
Hello everybody and welcome to Saints Gaming Call of Duty. My name is The Prive, joined alongside Corius for this banger of a matchup. St. Clair College versus one of the top teams in the league, Georgia Southern. We are going to be up for a battle today, Corius. How do you feel about this matchup?
You know, I feel pretty confident about this matchup. You know, GSU, they're a really good team, but I think the boys got it in the bag. First map here is going to be Garrison, you know. As we see, Georgia starting off hot, able to get 6 points, 7 points on the board and counting. But you know, I do feel pretty confident about these map setups too.
Yeah, for sure. Very excited to get things underway here. Georgia Southern going to be taking this hill early. Lavelle just stopping his tracks a little bit. I think his internet looking a little bit shaky right here. So, Corius, we might see you coming into the game, man.
You know, that would be, you know, not the situation that I would hope for, but I want the boys to be able to win this map when it sees Brandon. Some nice crispy shots right there. Saints finally getting on the board. Going to the rotation of P2, we see Sauce, Priestley combining for one apiece, trying to get these spawns now.
Yeah, for sure. So spawns aren't really in their favor right now. However, Priestley doing a good job of finding that initial pick. He will get traded out, and Sauce going to do a little bit of backup work there. So far, spawns really not really in favor of the Saints quite yet. However, I mean, they're playing pretty good here now, and I think they actually are ready for next as well. So, very good stuff there from the Saints, and they are really, you know, fighting against this Georgia Southern squad, and they got only trailing by a few points.
Yeah, so now if you're the Saints, you know, you're just chilling. You don't want to give those spawns. You don't want to try and get those spawns that they're going, but that problem is Suzy Q, that number 4 is going to be a problem. But we see Brandon starting to rotate also. We see number 7, Priestley, starting to rotate. But that number 8 Sauce starting to spawn out as Suzy Q wins a big one in the back, and it's all going to be up to Priestley for these spawns.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you were pointing out Suzy Q just a second ago, right? And, I mean, Suzy Q is 6-2 with 21 seconds on the hill, like, playing a phenomenal game so far from the side of Georgia Southern. And the Saints really just trying to do whatever they can to contest it, but really looks like they're having a hard time. Priestley going to be shutting them down there.
A huge kill by Priestley allows number 6 to spawn there. That's going to be Brandon. If Brandon can get this kill onto Suzy Q, that would be really huge for him. Gets one. Can Brandon find the second? Brandon not going to be able to find the second, unfortunately, and the spawns will go to the side of GSU for probably the next 38, because if you are St. Clair, you're not going to want to be spawning there. It's just normal hard point. If you're basically doing the work for them if you go for spawns at this point.
Yeah, so St. Clair going to be falling off a little bit, just trying to contest this hill or do whatever they can to slow down the points. But Gunley going to be on a 5 streak here now. Nobody from the Saints are able to shut him down. Currently sitting at 9-4 with 45 seconds on that hill. Gunley really stepping up as a big role in this roster here early in this hardpoint game. So St. Clair College, like you were saying, you know, mainly just fighting for next year now. But that's going to be Gunley taking down Brandon. Priestley able to take a trade now. So very good stuff there from Priestley to shut him down on his hot streak. And St. Clair going to have initial control of this next hardpoint. However, it's still a very, very tough battle as they're getting swarmed by the sides of Georgia Southern.
Yeah, but now if you're St. Clair, you need a really good hold on this one. Some things, you know, if Georgia does end up getting streaks, it's not going to be as bad as if it was on raid. There's not many points to really streak besides that point number 2. And also, we got to talk about the meta change. So there's an update a couple of days ago. Now teams, I see we are running a 2-2 split here, 2 subs and 2 ARs from each team. You know, I wonder what they're going to do on the next map. It's going to be Miami. You know, that's a long map.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be really interesting considering all the changes that have happened in the past, like, you know, 6-7 days. And a lot has happened, you know, in this scene with, you know, making things new metas and, you know, the guns differential, whatever it may be. Big updates over the past, you know, few days, like you were saying. So overall, it's fairly interesting, and it's going to be interesting also to see if the Saints can adjust to it nicely and, actually pick up with just where they left off previously. I mean, Georgia Southern, very strong team either way. One of their abilities to make them such a strong team is, adapting to these new changes, new updates, whatever it may be, and really just using them to their ability, right? So that's going to be one of the biggest things here for the St. Clair College, being able to adapt to stay in competition with Georgia Southern.
Yep, and as you say that, we got 3 down over there, That's all 4. They're going to be spawning in the back. If you are St. Clair, you are loving to see this. Hopefully a spawn trap can come here, but Sauce ends up falling. Number 7, Priestley and Brandon able to get a pick each. It's all really up to that number 2. That number 2 is going to get traded out. Or no, Priestley's actually just going to get him, and they're still spawning in the back. If you were St. Clair, you were loving this right now.
Yeah, Priestley on a 6 streak, certainly sitting at 14-8. He will fall there to Susie Q. But, I mean, overall, Priestley really stepping things up here. Now 14-9, popping off, doing whatever he can do. And now at this point, St. Clair College, yeah, really making a little bit of a comeback here in this matchup. However, doesn't look like they have spawns on this hard point, which is quite concerning for them, considering Georgia Southern took those spawns kind of with ease. But if you see number 4, CQ spawns out, and there it is, the rest of Georgia Southern spawning out. St. Clair going to get control of those spawns. This is actually what they want.
Yep, but that number 3 and number 1 is going to be a problem. But, St. Clair started off slow, but now you see the boys. You see them, made this a 20-point game. I think it was like an 80-point game at one point. Now only a 20-point game here. Have the spawns for P2. That number 3 is going to be a problem, but you just got to work it slow here and play for the picks.
Yeah, for sure. Cannot agree more with you there, Corey. So we will actually see the guys from the Saints really trying to break through these sides here. Brandon just searching for anything on his lines. And he's going to be the first man to try to get towards this hill and maybe take out Agnew or somebody right up there on that green tank. He gets some shots. He's going to get some tags, but Gunley, he'll catch the best of them. That's going to be Georgia Southern looking to get the initial break here on this hill. But Priestley goes huge with that 2-piece. He's trying to find the last one on hill. And they clean it up. Sauce is there. The Saints have broken this hill. They may not have spawns, but they are doing an excellent job of holding this hill right now.
And I mean, just look at Priestley's movement right there. That's all about the movement to get out of that corner, make the other person miss their shots, and, just counter and get the help of Sauce right there. But we see Gunley win that gunfight in the back. This could be an opening for Georgia. They could do the work for us right now as we're going to spawn out. And Georgia's doing the work for us right now, letting us spawn out in a big gunfight right there. Not going to go in our favor, but, we'll take that split of that time, and now we can just set up for next.
Yeah, we may lose that 30 seconds that was on that hill, but setting up for next, we can get a full 50, as this is a fairly hard hill to break and get spawns for, if I'm correct, Corius. I mean, like this hill is definitely not ideal to not have spawns for initially. So St. Clair, yes, they may be trailing right now by 40, but don't be too worried. St. Clair looking fairly good here going into next.
Yeah,
oh, but 6. Look at number 6. That's going to be Brandon. He gets out. He spawns out. That's a split spawn.
Now, it's really confusing. Cold War, they said they fixed their spawns, but you see that. No one's in the back, but he spawned out. So I think he spawned out because of the old hill. I'm not exactly sure, but he's going to be back in that hill. And yeah, this is really a money hill if you are playing this game, Garrison HP. There's not really much ways to break this from. It's just all going to be coming down to teamwork and winning your gunfights right there. But the Saints doing a great job of winning theirs. As we see, one's going to get into the hill, but he's just going to get taken down. Testing, trying to get the 2-piece, but can't.
Yeah, that movement, like you were talking about just a few minutes ago from Priestley and Sauce, right? Like, it just continues to show here as, it looks like they're going for a full 60, and they're only 10 seconds away from pulling this whole 60, so very good stuff from the Saints. They're actually going to take this lead over Georgia Southern, and they are really playing their A game today, Corius. They are looking phenomenal. Like we were saying, this is one of the top 5 schools for Call of Duty. And, whether it be the CCL, whether it be Acti, Blizzard, whatever it may be, they are one of the top 5 schools competing here. So for St. Clair College to be able to put on this kind of like, I wouldn't say clinic, but to put on what they are right here in front of Georgia Southern right now is absolutely phenomenal stuff.
Yep, and Saints, they can, win it on the next, and now so can Georgia. Georgia cannot win it on this point. They're going to be a few points away, but it's all up to the boys of St. Clair. They got to break this spawn trap right now. All going to be going dark. This is how you break it. You work together, and you take this really slow. As we see, a couple of the guys are going to go down, but we see that number 7 spawn out, and we like to see that right now.
Yeah, that's going to be Priestley way out there, and he's going to be the main man to try to do some work here moving forward. He's going to open things up in an early frag there. Sauce follows it up with one as well. So That'll provide the Saints a little bit of a 4v2 action. Priestley searches for that one there on a Suzy Q, but Suzy Q will get the best of them. The Saints will be holding the remainder of this hard point just to try to get, to that 200-point barrier. But by the looks of it right now, Georgia Southern just in a great position for this next hard point. They have the spawns that they want. They are in the positions that they want. You do see Gunley actually hop on that hill. The streaks from Priestley are now coming out. Let's see if those connect at all. You see Priestley, he's actually going to team kill Lavelle, but I mean, he found 2 other ones. So if you're Priestley there, you cannot be mad at that. Lavelle will get the good spawns too. So, I mean, overall, like, fairly good stuff there from the Saints. A very good use of the streaks from Priestley.
Yep, and those parallel spawns are going to be called out as we see Lavelle goes down. Sauce goes down too, but Brandon able to get that trade. Priestley and Brandon all up to them right now. Priestley all up to him. What can he do? Defending this hard point pretty good right now. And I don't think, so Georgia won't be able to win off this.
Yeah, that's good news if you are the Saints. At this point, if you are the Saints, maybe go and set up for next. Like, it is a hard hill to hold, but Priestley just trying to contest them a little bit here on this last hill. And that's a huge win from Brandon there to get this initial break on the P1. And the Saints really looking to hold a majority of this hill time. And this is a neck and neck game. Corey said is coming down to the wire. St. Clair Saints can win it on this. Georgia Southern can win it on this. Let's see if this hard point will end the game.
Yep, and now we see trays going through everywhere. It's a massive gunfights win from Sauce and Brandon in this new hill. Georgia does have the spawns, but the thing is, can they actually hold St. Clair to not get this win right here?
Yeah, that's going to be the big interesting thing about Priestley. Oh my God, Priestley, he goes huge with 2 there. And that's going to result in Georgia Southern being pushed off that hill a bit. But Gunley going to take down Brandon in a very crucial gunfight to allow Georgia Southern to get on the hill. St. Clair, they could still win it on this one. Nobody is on the hill right now.
Triple kill again. And Saints can win it.
They can win it here. They need a contest. Georgia Southern, they are not even close to that hill. They're going to get that contest. They can still win on this one, though. Suzy Q tries to close it out, but you're St. Clair College. They win that map. 250-242. And oh my God, Corius, we are opening up this matchup on an absolute banger. 250-242. Only an 8-point difference. Your St. Clair Saints open things up phenomenally. They're closing out the game just how they planned.
I mean, Priestley, the man just woke up today and chose violence. We saw him just get 2 triple kills. We saw Priestley just get 2 triple kills at the end to clutch it up.
Yeah, you know what? If Priestley doesn't get those triple kills, I'm not 100% St. Clair can close that one out right there.
And that's really massive on the side of St. Clair. They win. They did not have spawns at all for that point too, but they said, let's just win it here. Let's end it here. And Priestley answered back. Some nice teamwork from the guys. Brandon, Sauce, Lavelle, all coming in clutch in winning their ones.
Yeah, I mean, winning their ones is really one of the biggest things, but Priestley was winning his 3s, man. Priestley was just popping off, and no one could stop him. Like you were saying, he woke up, he chose violence. He is coming out of the gates absolutely on a tear on this matchup, and I am so excited to, head into this S&D and see if the Saints can pick up right where they left off. One of the big things I do want to see in this, I think it's Miami Search and Destroy, if I'm correct. But overall, one of the biggest things I'm going to have to see is Lavelle holding that A point with his whole life, pretty much. You know what I mean? He's going to be almost the only player sitting on that A point, as all the others will be around that B area. And if he can just manage to keep that A side unlocked so all the others can focus on B, then it'll really help the Saints, not focus defocus their attention on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, and that's going to be really huge, Normally when it's an A hit, if you see one, you can call that out and you can rotate early, but you got to be able to stay alive, keep your life up, and, you got to be able to call it out so your team can rotate earlier. If you got 4 guys pushing you, they're just going to push you, kill you, get the first blood, and then plant the bomb.
And then they're in a 4v3, and it's so hard to retake that at that point in time. So, I mean, overall, if you are the Saints, like I was saying, just keeping up that A defense is going to be a huge factor there. And same with the B defense, I mean, right? Making sure you get that house control and making sure that you can make sure nobody runs through a piano or whatever it may be. Keeping full control of that B site, playing your typical positions. Don't get out of position. And you know what? Just do what they do. I mean, they are very trained on Miami. They've played it several times. They are very comfortable, very relaxed on it. Yes, you are going against a top Georgia Southern school, but they already found the early first map. So, I mean, anything is really possible here in this series. Let's see if the Saints can follow it up with another win here as we head into Miami.
Yep. So this is gonna be a really huge map here.
Yeah, for
And
sure. So we are just waiting for the lobbies to get all sorted before, we can actually hop into this next game. So, I mean, overall, score prediction wise from me, I mean, Georgia Southern, they have to be upset about that loss. St. Clair been looking a little shakier on Miami lately as they have been, earlier in the season. So, honestly, to me, I really do truly feel that Georgia Southern will be able to take this Miami S&D, maybe like 6-4, 6-5, but the Saints are just looking like they are ready to battle today. So I would not be surprised whatsoever.
yeah, so my prediction is gonna be, after that map one, coming from playing, you are hyped after that map one. That close of a map, this team is really good. I'm predicting a 6-4 to the Saints mainly because it's their map choice, and if if they do win this could be really huge for them as we see. I think it's a raid control we have next also.
Yeah, and raid control is literally exactly what you love to see if you're the Saints, right? Like, if you want raid control so bad, they've been looking at, like, I'd say raid control is their best map mode throughout this whole, throughout all of Cold War, right? I mean, raid control is literally their stomping ground. To have that map 3 and already have a map win in map 1 really helps the Saints out throughout this series.
Yeah, and it really does. The only factor that I would say that plays into this B site is, will people who's gonna get blooded first, right? We see
Yeah.
Sauce, we see Brandon, they're gonna be in piano, they're gonna be in main gunfights. Can they win those really big gunfights?
And they're very, very crucial, right? To open up the B site if you are from the side of Georgia Southern, or if you are even from the side of St. Clair College. Like, to open up that B site, those first bloods are so huge. I mean, I think it's like, what, 70% of the time you see a first blood go down for the side of a team, they're gonna clean up that round. So, I mean, that is one of the big difference makers here, unless there's like a trade or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But overall, St. Clair College coming out phenomenally, like I said, in map 1 here. Very, very close win, but I mean, this is a win that ideally, you look at statistics, Georgia Southern kind of should have had this one in the bag if you're looking at strictly statistics.
Yeah, and for sure. And one thing that does play a factor for Bloods also is in MW, you had 5v5. This game is
Mhm.
a 4v4. That changes, dramatic. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but that
Drastically.
that changes drastically for the game. Even in the hard points, if you go down and your teammate dies first, you can't get that trade. That's a 2v4 right there, right? You're
Yeah,
fighting.
exactly.
So I think it's going to come down to really who can win those big gunfights.
Yeah, very excited to see how things turn out. I mean, we are just a few minutes under the way. So while we're on this break, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, as we would not be able to put on this production without them. So quick shout out to St. Clair College Alumni Association, PC Outlet, the Zeckelman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Huge shout out to all of them for really helping support us and helping us put on these broadcasts. Like I was just saying, it would not be possible without them. Also, would not be possible without you viewers. So we appreciate everybody tuning in to this matchup. But got word from production that we are actually going to be loading in to the search and destroy on Miami right here, right now. Very excited to get things underway, Corius. And I think this one is going to be an absolute battle down to the wire.
Yep, and I'm really excited for this. My predictions still stay strong, a 6-4 from the side of the Saints after winning that map one. But what can Georgia State do? They almost had it, but they weren't able to win those important gunfights.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. The timer's ticking down and we are underway. Your St. Clair Saints going to be starting on the offensive side of things here on Miami. Now let's see what they can do. Really looking like they want to get aggressive towards this B site. And you do see Lavelle kind of heading over there towards mid-map A. Really just trying to see what he can find over there. And that's very typical stuff. Brandon trying to get an early opening pick, but Suzy Q will get the best of him. Suzy Q is down to about 10 HP there. So, I mean, very close shot there from Brandon, but does not pay off. Suzy Q finds another one there on the Sauce. Priestley there for a trade, but overall, this is a 3v2 in favor of Georgia Southern early in this one. Going to make things very difficult on the Saints.
Yep, and that's a huge kill from Priestley right there. That is really clutch kill. And the patience that Priestley has right now, he could be able to even this up, man. This would be huge if he was able to even this up. Play it nice and patient, but it looks like he's going to go to that mid-map. We see that number 6, Teston, taking a long flank for the side of Georgia right now. But Priestley going to be last alive here. Does able to make it a 1v2 for himself. This is really doable, almost making a 1v1. But Priestley was probably going to get shot in the back. And yep, Georgia Southern able to take the first round.
Who legged out of the game?
I think that was actually Lavelle that lagged out. I did not see that. I thought he died.
Yeah, Lavelle lagged out of the game. He didn't die.
So I don't.
I didn't see Lavelle die on the scoreboard there. So we might see this game end and actually start as a 1-0 going to the next map or going into the finish this game.
Yeah, I think you can end it after rounds.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can end it, but the round has to be completed.
That round is counted. Yeah, so the round is counted. Georgia Southern will have a 1-0 lead in the search and destroy. However, it's going to be Georgia Southern first to 5 here now. St. Clair Saints going to need the 6 still. So, I mean, overall, I mean, it's not that concerning, but Lavelle being out right there, I mean, that's a little worrisome there for the Saints. I mean, right? So, overall, I mean, if you are the Saints, it's tough bounce there to, lose that 2v2 due to you maybe somebody lagging out. Priestley, if he had a little bit of help, maybe, you could see Saints winning that round.
Yeah, and that's says it for itself. We see that guy. I think he was top A. Lavelle, I think he was top also, so he would have been able to put some team shots with Priestley there. But you never know because of that last guy. He definitely would have killed Priestley and made it a 1v1. And you never know with the 1v1, it could go in either way. So
Yeah, exactly. Could not agree with you more there, Nathan. And I think we are actually going to be loading into this next match here in just a moment. I mean, same map really, but just that 1-0 lead here on Miami. And you know what, guys? Like, it's a tough start there from the Saints. I mean, the one thing that we're probably going to see is Brandon and Sauce really kind of adjust there a little bit near piano and slow down that push, right? Like, they try to get very aggressive there, but Suzy Q also very aggressive towards piano. So it's going to be interesting to see. Are one of those teams going to back off and play this one a little bit slower? We'll find out here soon.
So I'm looking at it right now, and Lavelle's not even into the Discord, so I think his Wi-Fi totally went down, unfortunately. So I think this is I don't know how long we'll be waiting, but
yeah. So what we'll do right now for you guys is we're gonna throw this onto a quick break just until we get this matchup fixed. So sorry about that. Stay tuned. My name is Jackson Deprived Brown, joined alongside Nathan Corius Peralt, and we are casting St. Clair Saints Call of Duty.